I think every little kid dreams about being famous and being in movies.
This is California. This is where you make it. This is where it all starts.
You'll get signed by a label. You can star on Disney Channel. You know, what kid wouldn't want that, right? I remember you asked me if I ever did anything with a guy before. I was not interested at 12.
You're not recording this, right?
Look like an angel.
Hollywood doesn't have any system in place to protect anybody, and children are way down on that list.
Children need management just like everybody else.
Walk like an angel.
Everybody liked him.
He became part of the family.
In the beginning, it was happy, and then things started
Oh,
changing.
you talk like an angel.
They pick on people who they know will be victims.
You have an adult who is manipulating the child.
Look like an angel.
Just getting, hired on the spot like that. That had never happened before.
It was obvious that something was going on.
You fool me.
The party made me feel uncomfortable. There were lots of drugs available, and there were young teenage boys.
I remember being scared.
He just told me this is what you have to do.
A number of boys told me we point the gun at them just like that.
He said, "Do you not understand the power I have?"
You're the devil in disguise.
I remember sitting in my room and crying my eyes out.
He said, "What would you do? That happened to me."
A lot of investors completely denied that anything was going on.
Clearly, the studio didn't want an investigation.
I hated when you tried to have me sleep in your bed and touch me.
I don't know anything about that.
There will always be a steady stream of kids who want to be famous.
We're absolutely talking about the tip of an iceberg.
It wasn't uncommon, let's put it that way.
Hey guys, it's your girl Alexi from RedCarpetFly.com. I'm here at the premiere of An Open Secret. Lights, fame, glamour, everything seems so great in Hollywood, but everything that glitters isn't gold. The Open Secret sheds the light on the dirty business of Hollywood. Can you tell me, why did a movie like this need to be made?
The problem of child sex abuse is so prevalent in our society, and no one else has made a documentary of this type before.
Why do you think that it goes unreported? Or, we hear about it in the news like every once in a while and then it disappears.
Well, there are so many stigmas and stereotypes associated with child sex abuse which are false. Because we don't talk about that topic enough, we're embarrassed to talk about that topic. Whether it's thinking that only kids from terrible socioeconomic backgrounds have it happen to them, or only children in Hollywood that have stage manager moms and dads who didn't care. And that's not true. The only fault is the pedophile, the predator themselves. And so hopefully you will see in our film, we attempt to shatter all of those stereotypes.
How do parents protect their children? If you were talking to a parent about putting their child in Hollywood, how do they protect them?
The best place, the first thing I would say is to go to Biz Parents, BIZPARENTZ. They're our partner in the film. It would not have happened without them, and they are the preeminent resource in Hollywood, in addition to being sponsors of the Child Protection Act of 2012.
Now, do you think money has anything to do, or maybe, people don't report it as much because they're afraid that they might lose out. They might lose their chance at being a superstar?
Well, in Hollywood in particular, there are so many different reasons, many of which we address in the film. Not only that, but the practice of victim shaming. All of the statistics show that any child who has experienced one of the worst horrors of humanity in child sex abuse is statistically more likely to have a lot of other problems in life. And that on average it takes them 10, 15, if not more years to come forward. So then there's the issue of being cast in the public eye and having some of those issues come forward and have your life opened as an experience.
Well, thank you so much. You've been awesome to interview, and I can't wait to see the movie. Tell me why it was important for you to come out and support a movie like this.
Well, I'm just dying to see it. It isn't so much supporting. I'm dying to see it. And one of the financiers behind it was refusing to tell us much about it because he said, well, I don't want to give away the spoiler. There's another spoiler. So I'm dying to see it. That's why I'm here.
Now, why do you think so many young people fall prey to, like, the casting couch scenario?
That's a great question. Well, so many people do. I remember a quote from Ronald Reagan, and when he was doing the GE tours, he'd meet these nice, sweet, corn-fed gals and say to them, and they'd all said, Ronald Reagan, how do I come to Hollywood and become an actress? And he remarks later, I'd just shake my head and think, they're going to go become whores. And I don't know, especially with children, it's almost like a Twilight Zone episode where you can have any wish in the world, and what you want is fame and money, and it ends up being the worst thing that ever happened to you.
One last thing, can you tell us, with the signing of this Iran, I guess they're moving closer to getting a nuclear deal with Iran. Can you just tell me some of your thoughts about that?
I'm kind of bored with it. It's obviously a disaster. Did anyone expect it to be anything other than a disaster? How many times do we have to go through? Obama is wrecking our standing, making the world a less safe place. Okay, we know that. Do I have to keep hearing about it every night on TV?
Why did you decide to come out tonight and support this movie?
Well, I grew up in the business. I was a young actor. I started out when I was, 10 years old, and fortunately, I sort of had a front row seat to having an actress mother and an agent father. I was lucky enough in that regard, but I also had a front row seat to a lot of the kinds of things, a lot of the issues that are discussed in this movie. I've seen a lot of young kids go down the wrong path by there's a lot of bad people in this business, and so I'm grateful that this film was made, and I'm hopeful that it will bring some of these issues to light, so that parents that are interested in helping their kids pursue their dreams will see this movie and know that they need to do their homework in terms of if they want to put their kids in the business, to make sure that they're getting in business with the right people.
Now, how would a parent, if you could give some tips to a parent, 3 tips, how would a parent protect their child from, being preyed upon by, seemingly harmless people, It could be the agent, it could be,
Well, like I said, you just have to do your homework. There are a lot of agents out there, there are a lot of managers, there are a lot of people that call themselves agents and managers. So you just have to make sure that they're legit. Do your homework, do your vetting, through the union, through the Screen Actors Guild. Make sure that there are people, because there are a lot of people that give workshops and classes and all of that. Just have to really, really be on your guard and make sure that, if you want your child to pursue their dream, or if you want to put them in show business, it's not a warm and fuzzy business. It's not a graceful business. It can be very hard on you, especially as a young kid. And you've seen a lot of not successful stories about young actors that have gone down the wrong road. For various reasons. So, I'm hopeful that this film will, bring a lot of those issues to light. And I love documentary film. I support documentary film and independent film. So, I'm very excited about seeing this. It's about time.
Now, tell me a few things on a lighter note. Some things about Aquarius. How's that going?
Lighter note. Aquarius, not exactly a lighter note show.
Not a lighter note show.
Yeah. It's been a great success. I'm really, really proud to have been a part of it. I only did half of the episodes that are on, but my character seems to, as people are watching the show, they're noticing, my character's sort of driving a lot of the action along, and then when you see what happens with Banyan at the end of the series in episodes 12 and 13, I think people are going to be sort of shocked when they see what happens for season 2 coming up. We just got picked up, so very excited about that. But it's a terrific show. I'm really great to be a part of it.
And congratulations on having the 2nd season picked up. Can you give us any spoiler alerts or?
No can do. I wish I knew. They haven't even broken their scripts yet for 2nd season, so they don't go back into production until November. So your guess is as good as mine. I hope I'm on board. I'd be thrilled and grateful to be on board. If when they come back for 2nd season that Hal Banyan is somewhere in that crazy, creepy, freaky world, I'd love it.
Thank you so much.
So tell me, why did you decide to come out tonight and support this movie?
I'm a former child actor myself. I've been in the industry for 13 years, and it really is an open secret. I think that's probably the best title they could have come up with for it, because I think everybody knows somebody in the business, whether it's talked about or not, that has been affected by something like this.
So, you know, growing up in the business, and you said you knew people, how did they handle that? You know, like, because you hear about it so rarely.
Right. It's nothing that I've ever spoken with someone personally about, but it is definitely actors that I've worked with that have been affected by something like this, shows that have been affected, film sets that have been affected in these ways. So, I mean, I think handling it is something that you learn as an adult, because it's so unfair that these things happen when you're so young and you don't have the tools to deal with it. I know a lot of actors, when they reach the age of 18 or a little bit older than that, they're really able to give a voice to this problem.
So what would you tell like an aspiring actor or actress, you know, coming up in Hollywood, how to kind of avoid the pitfalls of, you know, the predators that might be preying on them?
I think there's a lot of really great internet resources. There's a lot of message boards. I mean, Biz Parents is a really great resource. I think parents really need to be involved. It can't be something where the child is doing it themselves. I definitely was blessed with having two parents that were very aware of both problems and amazing things in the industry.
Now, switching gears a little bit, let's talk about True Detective. That show is like blowing up, and I've been at a lot of premieres and I see a lot of True Detective actors and actresses. Tell me a little bit about the part you play on the show, and what can, you know, viewers see in upcoming episodes?
I mean, I'm going to tell you what I think everybody else has told you, is we can't tell you anything about what's coming up. I mean, I really don't know much